you a story that's over 20 years old. It was a hot September day. School had just started. My grandparents were in town from Florida. We went out to dinner, and as we were driving in my neighborhood, the car abruptly stopped in front of the driveway. When I looked out the window, I froze. The entire driveway was covered in chocolate syrup. Horrible things were written there. Words like fat ass and bitch. And to make matters worse, they made me homemade cookies and put them in a dog bowl on my front porch. Now, it wasn't strangers who did this. It was people that were supposed to be my friends. This memory is burned in my brain, and I will never forget it because it reinforced this belief that I had to be perfect. So that's when I became a people pleaser. Moments like these, big and small, filled this invisible bucket of self-doubt until it finally overflowed. By adulthood, I was exhausted, and motherhood burnt out because I was living for everybody else's approval. A couple years ago, I found myself in a deep depression. The wins didn't feel worth celebrating, and the losses were paralyzing. There was really nowhere else to go for me but up. I had to do something different. What I was doing was not working. So I decided it was time to surrender. Not just to an idea or a label, but something greater than myself. Call it God, call it the universe, call it a higher power. But in that surrender, I opened my heart up to love. And love is the highest frequency. I let go of the need to try and be in control of everything or be perfect, and I simply trusted. I had let fear guide me for far too long, making choices based on fear of judgment or not showing up or not saying the right thing. But fear also wears many other hats. It can look like judgment, comparison, anger, resentment. But love hits differently. Love is self-acceptance. Love is compassion. Love is trust. And when we come from a place of love, everything flows differently. Relationships flow differently. Opportunities flow differently. And life finally feels lighter. But when we're coming from a place of fear, we're also coming from a place of lack. That constant feeling of not having enough